All right, next we talk about what kind of zeros a function has, and basically there's two categories. You can have a real zero, you can have a non-real or imaginary zero. But we also have to know how many zeros a function has. So if we know the degree, this is the fundamental theorem of algebra, if we know the degree, so is it x to the third, x squared, x to the ninth, whatever, that's going to tell us the number of solutions. So for this first one, you'll see it starts going up, but it's not a straight line, so it's not linear. And then it makes this little attempt like it's going to turn back down, and then it goes up some more. Okay, because it starts and ends in different directions, different y directions, we know it's odd, and it has just one attempt at a direction change, so I'm going to say that this is a third degree function, which means it's got 3 zeros. Okay, real ones we can really see with our real eyes, so it has one real zero, and that leaves behind 2 other zeros, so it must have 2 more, and since we can't see them, they are non-real or imaginary zeros. Okay. Jump to the next one. You can see that this one starts and ends. Both of these, the y values go to positive infinity. So that means that this has an even degree, or the largest power is even. It starts going down, then it goes up, then it goes down again, then it goes up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to say this is probably a 4th degree function. And we can see 2 places where it crosses the x-axis. So that means there's 2 very real zeros that we could identify and say, point to, right there. Well, if it's a 4th degree function, we know 2 of them are real. Then there's 2 left, and so those would be the non-real solutions, imaginary. All right, other 2. This one, we see 1, 2, 3 real zeros. Okay, and then we just have to try to determine, are there any non-reals? Are there any that we aren't seeing? Well, we see it starts and ends in opposite directions, so that tells me it's odd. So it could be third. We'll see. Maybe is it 5? Well, it goes down, then up, then back down again. It has 2 maximum and 2 extreme points, a minimum and a maximum. So it's probably 3rd degree, which means there aren't any non-real. Don't try to force it to have non-real zeros. If you can see them all, you can see them all. Speaking of seeing them all, there aren't any real ones that we can see on number 13. So, does it have any zeros? Well, yes, it's a function. So it's got some zeros. You see it starts and ends in the downward direction, and if you see this shape, hopefully it yells out to you that this is quadratic, which means it's a 2nd degree function, x squared kind of function, which means it's got 2 zeros. We can't see them, so they must be non-real. Okay, this thing never crosses the x-axis, but it does have 2 non-real solutions, and that is determining zeros.